378 subscribers. That's how many subs this channel has at the time of recording this video. But to make things simple, let's just call this my 350 subscribers special. And also this video is my 100th video, though I guess technically last video was, but that's only counting one video I had to upload twice, and that's a whole thing I don't really want to get into. But anyway, like for my 100 sub special where I gave my top 10 favourite anime characters, made my friend rank them in terms of looks, this time I'll be sharing my top 10 favourite animes / mangas, and making the same friend guess the plot from just the OP. And technically this will be a top 14 list, as my friend knows the plots of 4 of these series already, but that's only a minor issue. So without further ado, let me present my normie friend guessing the plots of animes just for the OPs. Also, sorry about this audio. After recording, the audio all seemed fine. When I went to edit it, my mic's audio is way louder than my friend's mic. But I've tried to tidy up as much as possible in post, so please excuse the video at times shocking audio. You have my sincerest apology now. Anyway, on with the video. Hello everyone, I've already done the intro by this point, so you guys all know what's going on, and my friend James here knows what's going on as well. So because we're doing our top 14, because of the 4 he already knows the plots of, we're going to start with my number 14 anime. And James, I'm going to send you the link now, and then we'll come back to you after you've watched it, and we'll see what you think the plot is based on the OP. Did you enjoy that?
Like I said, I felt angry. Am I supposed to feel that?
This is the quintessential quintuplets. It's a harem anime, if you couldn't tell. But what would you say is the plot from watching one OP?
From watching that open, well, for starters, I'm still trying to wrap my head around why one of the girls was all of a sudden really, really small. I'm presuming the focal point is going to be the guy, because he was the only guy in the opening that seemed normal. Maybe they're like his sort of like quote unquote imaginary friends, or something. Or maybe he's got like some sort of weird crush on a couple of girls in school, maybe, and like he's thought of like different little imaginary friends to see how scenarios work out. Because he ends up marrying one at the end. And suddenly she's normal sized.
So your idea is that they're imaginary friends about like, some lonely weeb at school.
Basically, yeah, some strange, I don't know.
Okay, well, you're nowhere close to the mark at all.
Oh, good.
So this is the official description of the show. It's a high school romantic comedy with 5 times the cute girls. A high school boy must work part-time to help 5 sisters study so they can all graduate. But the only thing these quintuplets have in common is that they all hate studying. 5 girls who want to do anything but study, and their tutor, a high school boy who's got book smarts and not much else, took the tutoring gig because he was desperate for cash. When his students, the 5 beautiful daughters of a wealthy businessman, find 5 times the excuses to slack off, what can he do? At this rate, the sisters won't graduate, so if he wants to get paid. That's the synopsis.
Is that what? Oh right, oh, okay. I take it he develops feelings.
Basically, the plot is that we start in the future with him marrying one, but because they all look the same, we have no idea which one it is.
Oh yeah.
But yeah,
I think you told me about this.
I might have. I really do like this show, but it's only number 14, so it's only up from here. So technically, number 13 is one you definitely know, and that is Death Note. So I'm not gonna make you watch the OP because you know enough about Death Note, but can you just sum it up? Because I want to see how good your memory is.
Yeah. It's all about. Oh, I'm trying to remember from memory now. I know it's all about a guy who gets a book. You can write down the names in this book, and it will kill whoever. And he's kind of like a vigilante, right? In a sort of sense, like an extreme.
Yeah, and right? He thinks he's he's only killing criminals, and he thinks what he's doing is the law, basically.
Yeah, it's sort of like Judge Dredd, but instead of machine guns and stuff and arresting people, he's just got a book that just does it quickly. Yeah. And the second sort of not B plot, but an essential plot to it is he's being chased by a detective, right?
Yes.
Like which is pretty cool. It's one of the shows I actually do need to watch at some point. Yeah, I'll watch the Netflix adaptation.
Yeah, I reckon you'd like it. But yeah, you're basically spot on there with that. But the next one, I have a feeling you're not going to get in the slightest.
Yay!
Because number 12 is Code Geass, so I'll quickly send you the link to that.
It's obviously like a military anime.
Yeah.
Wearing a nice uniform, and there was suddenly all of a sudden just loads of jets and boats being blown up.
Yeah.
That's good. It's about like a modern day British Empire.
That, yes, essentially yes.
Essentially. What by the looks of it, because it flashed from like a photo of them all in uniform to a photo of them all like casual. Are they like high school friends who like got enrolled in the army?
Kind of. There is a high school and one of them is in the military.
Oh, okay, so it wasn't too far from that.
Yeah, you're closer than I thought.
It's just Transformers, just because, you know.
Yeah.
Transformers.
So the official description of Code Geass is that on August 10th of the year 2010, obviously that's already happened now, but the Holy Empire of Britannia began a campaign of conquest, and it set sights on Japan, and after they captured Japan, they made it Area 11, so it's the 11th country they've conquered. So the citizens, the Japanese, are called the 11s, and they're forced to live under the British. So our protagonist is a prince of Britannia, Lelouch, and he, through mysterious circumstances, gains a power which allows him to control people by giving them a command. When he meets this mysterious girl named CC, so his goal is to bring down Britannia, and his father with it.
Oh.
And there's giant mechs in it as well.
Yeah, just because we're not. Yeah. I wasn't a million miles off then.
Yeah, you were closer than I thought.
Sounds pretty good.
Yeah. Fun fact about that, the Code Geass universe is, in that universe, the UK isn't controlled by Britannia. It's controlled by some other European country.
Wait, what?
Yeah, I think they lost it to another country at one point in that universe. Yeah, you're pretty close on with the Empire and the military stuff.
I suppose I could have got on the Japan thing because it had like a little crosshair on Japan that like they were gonna, I don't know, target it or somehow. So I guess that was like a big first clue.
Okay, well then, the next thing is number 11, and that is Parasite Maxim, which is something I watched very recently, but it skyrocketed up to number 11, so it's very good.
Right, straight up, I feel like it's set in some sort of post-apocalyptic world where some sort of virus, or maybe, well, I guess parasite, has been unleashed on the world and all shit's broken, all hell's broke loose. Because I mean, well, it showed you like people walking about as normal, and next thing there was just like weird sort of like almost Cronenberg-esque monsters everywhere.
Yeah.
And I guess it bothers me because there was one guy with glasses it seemed to focus on, and I presume he's like obviously the focal point of the story.
Yeah.
Maybe he was like a scientist who like, or a researcher who was looking into this thing, or like maybe right at the end he got infected by the parasite but somehow managed to like work with it and sort of.
That's not far off.
Symbiosis. And I'm guessing because it focused on this other woman that seemed kind of like angelic in a sense until she got scratched across her face. Maybe he had a wife that passed away due to the parasite invasion thingy.
Not far off at all.
I don't know. Maybe there's an evil corporation behind it all, just because why not?
Well, you're pretty close with the parasites themselves. It's not a post-apocalyptic world. In fact, it's a very normal world because the parasites are blending into society, so no one knows they're there.
Oh, okay.
And our main character, Shinichi, the guy with the glasses, he's actually 17.
Okay, never mind.
And one night, one of these parasites goes into his arm. Because what the parasites do is they go and they destroy your head and become your head.
Oh, okay.
So, but he stops it, so it instead becomes his arm instead. So his hand is become a parasite called Migi.
Nice.
And because the parasite never took over his head, it doesn't need to eat other humans to survive. So it's our main character with a parasite for a hand. Because parasites attract each other, it's just him almost being targeted by the other parasites who want to kill him. And
okay.
The woman who you thought was his wife is actually his mother.
Oh, that's awkward.
Who does get killed by a parasite, and basically the plot of it is just him as the parasite coexists in his body. His mind starts changing.
Oh right.
And he just like the character in the first episode is like the polar opposite of the character in the last episode.
Yeah.
So by the end, it's just more of a psychological thing of him changing while these parasites are living amongst society.
That does sound pretty cool. I think out of the 3 so far, that one I'd be most likely to actually go away and watch.
Yeah, it's a very good series in psychological stuff. Yeah. And a lot of the body horror stuff is very good as well.
Yeah, I definitely got a sense for that in the opening.
So that is Parasite Maxim, and technically we're now into the proper top 10 now, because we had those 4 before. So the next one is something called VINLAND SAGA.
Oh, I recognise this slightly. I think that one's quite easy to sum up in a way.
Yeah.
I think I might struggle with the more detail, but first impressions, it just looks like a Game of Thrones-esque sort of thing, but all revolving around Vikings.
Well, that's a pretty good way to sum it up.
Basically, yeah. It's what there with like some royal families and some religious iconography. People invading Europe, and then the Vikings come along to Vinland.
Yeah. You're pretty spot on. It's just a historical drama with a lot of violence. It's just like it's about the main character. It's Thorfinn, who is he's the son of one of the greatest Viking warriors, and after his father was killed, his life goal now is to kill the man who killed his father in a duel. So he joins the man as part of his Viking squad.
Oh, right.
And then it goes into all this stuff with the royal family and what it means to be a true warrior and stuff. And it's a very violent show, but it's very deep in its characters and stuff. And it's Amazon Prime original. You don't get many Amazon original animes.
Is it really?
Yep.
Oh man, good old Jeff Bezos putting them $1 trillion to use.
Okay, so number 9 is a show that a lot of my fans will be annoyed in my top 10, but I don't care. I really like this show, and that is My Hero Academia.
Pretty cool opening. Not gonna lie. This Monsters Inc. They did like a university one.
Yeah.
Kind of reminds me of that.
It is a school, so it is a school setting. So yeah, you're right there.
Yeah, it looks like basically just a school for soups, and main guy, green hair guy. I'm just gonna call him green hair guy.
Yeah.
It's clearly focal point. And he's got a blonde head nemesis. I picked up on that at least. And I guess maybe there's are there like teams within the university that sort of like compete? Is there like a sort of overarching tournament?
No, it's more of a what are they learning at school? Like, what is it a school for?
Oh, maybe it's a school like sort of like in X-Men. Maybe they're like learning how to use their powers, maybe, or train to fight crime. Yes,
you're closer there.
Okay, or is there like a otherworldly threat or something like that that they're being trained to fight against?
You were close with X-Men kind of thing. It's basically in this world, everyone has a power called a quirk, so it's a superpower basically.
Nice, like it's called a quirk.
And the main character, Midoriya, he's born without one, so he's very odd because he doesn't have a power. And so his goal is to become a hero. That's society always tells kids use your powers to become heroes, which are they're like policemen, but they can do more. So they're like government. It's an actual job. It's to become a superhero basically.
Yeah. And
through his hard work, All Might, who is the big muscly guy in the OP with the blonde hair, he's the number one hero, and he wants to pass on his mantle to someone. Yeah. And so he passes it on to the main character by he has a strange quirk where he can give his quirk to other people. So he gives the main character who's quirkless, he gives him a quirk, and then the main character then joins the school, which is UA, and then he learns to become a better hero. So his goal is to get through school, go into the workforce, and become a hero.
Do any of them use their own? There must be people in that show that use their power for their own benefit, right? Not everyone's going to go
Yeah, there's one of the big themes of the show is that a lot of the villains are either people whose powers are shunned by society because they're kind of taboo in what they do, or they're kind of every child's kind of like pushed, you should become a hero. So those with like quirks that are kind of basic and don't do anything generally get like told to become a hero, and then they always fail because only those with like showy powers and stuff can actually achieve the popularity of becoming a hero. So they all become really depressed.
Oh no.
So yeah, the majority of the villains are just people that there's a lot of people that hate society.
Yeah.
Which is my favourite part of the show, is the society aspect. But it's one of the very basic animes that a lot of normies enjoy. That's how it is. So that was number 9. Number 8 is 7 Deadly Sins, which you know this one.
Oh man, I should get this. Watch me fail miserably now.
So give me a recap. Season 1's fine, because that's as far as you've watched, so I don't expect you to predict what's at the end of season 2. So yeah, how would you sum up season 1, or as far as you've got?
As far as I've got, I mean, for the intro, it started off with like, what would you call it, like an ancient sort of kingdom, or that's the word I was looking for, kingdom. And at some point, there's some sort of battle or betrayal between the main kingdom and the king and the 7 Deadly Sins. So they get sort of like excommunicado or whatever.
Yeah.
And are hunted down. But at some point they all end up split up, right? And it's down to Melodius and a giant pig to go and find the rest of the 7 Deadly Sins and do something. I can't quite remember what now because my mind's going blank.
Yeah, but that's basically spot on. That's early Sins for you. So we're up to number 7 now. Number 7 is a comedy series called Konosuba.
Okay, I think I got this one nailed.
Okay, let's hear it.
Right, it is about 4 sort of friends, possibly employees of a bar, that have to go out into this sort of medieval or fantasy world or whatever to hunt down maybe like, I don't know, ingredients for the bar or like stuff to keep the bar afloat, or maybe they're like bounty hunters maybe? Because the bar seems like a central thing because it keeps popping up, or maybe the animator just really likes bar maidens. It's a bit over animated maybe. Yeah, maybe it's just a comedy about just like 4 friends going into a fantasy world and just doing typical. It's kind of like a video game, kind of like an RPG, you know.
Yeah.
I get that element. It looks like there's like one that's more devolved in magic and healing maybe. The one seems to have like war powers. The main guy just looks like a bog standard sword wielding dude.
Yeah. Well,
maybe they're going out. Maybe there's like a massive manhunt for tortoises. They just really hate tree tortoises and rocks they explore. I'm just hunting them down.
I mean, you're not actually that far off. So they don't work for a bar, they're adventurers. So the bar is the Adventurers Guild, so there's different quests there and they get paid for completing these quests.
Oh, okay, yeah, it wasn't too far off.
And the main guy, Kazuma, he's actually from the real world, but he got hit by a tractor, died of shock and pissed his pants, and then was reborn in this new fantasy world.
Wait, what?
So he didn't even die of getting run over, he died of the shock of thinking a tractor was going to run him over.
Yeah, it's a horrible way to go out, but...
Yeah, when he's in the afterlife he meets Aqua, who is the blue-haired girl, who is a goddess.
Oh, yeah.
And basically, when he gets reincarnated, he's allowed one like cheap weapon or one like really overpowered sword or something, just to make up for his death. So he chooses her because he hates her, and he's an asshole. So she gets trapped in the new world with him.
Yeah.
And his goal is to kill the Demon King, and the only way for her to get back to the Goddess Realm is for him to do that as well. But they're both very weak, and they're just adventurers. And then they meet the other two, Megumin and Darkness, who join their party, and they're all 4 of them are just useless. They're all arseholes, and they all hate each other.
I didn't get that for the opening. They all look like best friends.
Well, they're the kind of friends where they're like real friends, and they will spend the whole time insulting each other, but they are best friends at the end of the day. It's a comedy through and through, but yeah, it's very RPG in its mechanics. mechanics and stuff. So yeah, that's Konosuba, that's number 7. So number 6 is a show that you technically know, which is JOJO'S. But as you know, JOJO'S is split up into different parts.
Oh.
So although you know the general premise of JOJO'S, you don't know each part. So I'm picking my favourite part, part 5, and I'm going to have to get you guess the specific plot of that specific part of the story.
Oh, okay. Well, that was a thing.
Yeah, that is part 5 of JOJO'S Golden Wind. Do you have any clue of what the hell the plot of this part is?
Oh, there's a spade or a dagger. I don't know.
Can you at least tell me where do you think this is set? I think OP kind of gives what country this is away.
Does it? Where it's set? I have no idea. I'm just gonna straight up say Japan.
No, it's European.
Is it Britain?
Nope.
Italy.
Yes, specifically Naples. So if based on it, the fact they're Italian, can you guess anything else?
Oh, is it maybe like? Does it have like any sort of like connection to like sort of stories and mythology of like the Roman Empire maybe?
No, it's think more modern. What's more modern Italian?
Pizza?
That isn't food.
Maybe like more gangsters and mafia.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, gangsters. It's based around the Italian mafia.
But other than that, I have no clue.
Basically, so this is set 2001 Naples, and our main character, Giorno Giovanna, who is the JoJo of this part, he joins the mafia because his goal is to overthrow it to stop drugs being dealt to children.
God damn, no, I would have never got that in a million years.
So that was number 6, JoJo's. Number 5 is something you've definitely seen because it's One Punch Man.
Oh, right, yeah, I know this.
So, what's One Punch Man about?
How do I explain this? There's so much to explain or to know or to say, and yet my mind's gone blank. I'll see if I was Saitama, who's, well, he wasn't a hero, but he trained super duper hard to become a superhero. What did he do? He was like something like 50 press-ups a day or something like that.
Yeah, basically.
He became the world's strongest man, or with the strongest punch known to man.
Yeah.
Yeah, he trains to become a hero, right? Because he wants to climb the ranks in the sort of, I forgot what the main organisation is called now.
It's just the Hero Association.
Oh, that's it. Oh yeah, the Hero Association. Yeah, he wants to climb the ranks in that, but at the same time he's got this sort of super not sarcastic, but like, he's like. He's definitely he's not self-aware of his own power. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Of the world around him, he just does stuff just because why not? Either finds it fun or I don't know, just doesn't really care.
Just pretty spot on description of One Punch Man.
Yeah, and obviously the main enemy of the whole thing is there's just all these monsters everywhere.
Yeah.
It's just the Hero Association trying to protect the world from the monsters.
Yeah.
That's about it, right? Because what was the first monster you came across? Was it like that crab dude?
What, Crablante?
Yeah,
because he ate too much crab.
Ate too much crab. Yeah. Then you encounter him as a normal person, and then that, him to become a superhero and lose all his hair. Shiny bald guy.
So yeah, okay. Let's go on to number 4. Oh, we're getting close to the top 3 now. Number 4 is One Piece. So I'll send you the OP for this bad boy.
That was something else. I'm trying to get on my thoughts here, because not a lot happened, but I'm just stunned by it,
Yeah, well, just for reference, this is the opening. It's got over 900 episodes, and this is there's like 20 different OPs. So I've chosen the first one but yeah, if I showed you any of the others, you'd have no idea what's going on because they're relevant to each respective arc.
Oh right, oh okay. So this just gives like an overall theme. Oh right, well obviously the overall theme is just pirates in it.
Yeah.
It's very. Was this is the censored one or whatever? Because it seems very sort of kid friendly.
Yeah.
Going on the cruise.
It was quite badly censored when it first came over to the West.
Yeah, I can't really tell much more from that opening, to be honest, about the actual details of the plot. other than it seems like maybe there's rival ships, which is to be expected, rival gangs on the seven seas. And the guy with the hat can't stop smiling.
Yep.
Really unnerving. Not gonna lie.
So the basic plot of One Piece is that in the past there was a pirate called Goldie Roger, and he was known as the Pirate King, and he was captured by the government and executed. But as he did, he revealed that all his treasure was left in one place, this island called Raftel. So and that started a new big age of piracy, as everyone's trying to get his treasure. And there's around the middle of this world there's an ocean called the Grand Line, and it gets like progressively harder as you go along the Grand Line. So our protagonist Luffy is gathering a crew, and because he wants to become the king of the pirates, so it's just him travelling along this ocean while fighting the government, rival pirates, oppressive kings and stuff like that.
Oh, right. Oh, okay. Yeah.
And there's a lot of heavier themes about slavery and freedom and all that kind of stuff as well.
Yes, that's a lot more detailed than the opening shows, yeah.
So yeah, that was my fourth favourite series of all time. Nice. And number 3 is one you should know a bit about. It's Berserk.
Oh, hell yeah. Alright. Now this is a show and a half that I don't know how it got made, how it was approved.
I mean, summing up would probably go against YouTube guidelines.
Yeah.
But yeah, this Berserk is often, along with the before mentioned One Piece, they're like the two things that are usually heralded as the best mangas ever written. But yeah, Berserk is many people would call it a masterpiece. It is, as far as storytelling goes, it's incredible, and the artwork is phenomenal.
Yeah, from what you told me, I can appreciate the story and the artwork behind it. Yeah, that's for sure. But it does feel like whoever created it was just like, man, there's a lot of messed up stuff in the world. What if I just put it into one big place?
Yeah, it gets very dark at points. But there's only a few points that people generally think it's gone to the point just for shock factor. There's very few moments that are like that.
Oh right. Like, so the whole thing's pretty reasonable in its gore then.
Yeah, in the how it fits the story. I think most of it seems appropriate. There's a bit with a horse and a bit with a weird bear man that are like two of the ones where it's a bit, maybe that's a bit too far, but genuinely it is within reason. Yeah,
it does. I'm surprised that it's not. Yeah, I'm happy that it's not. That the gore actually ties in quite well with the story. Because outside looking in, it always looked like it was just a shock value sort of thing.
Yeah.
But I'm glad there's only 1 or 2 scenes like that. So that's good. Yeah. It's something I need to check out at some point.
Yeah, it's a heavy read. But yeah, so Berserk is my 3rd favourite series of all time, and number 2 is a comedy, strangely enough, and that is a Gintama. So I'll send you one of its OPs. There's like 100 OPs for this show, but I'll send you one I think sums up the show the best, and it doesn't do it very well.
Right. Okay. This is a comedy, right?
Yep.
Yeah. It looked quite serious from the opening. I didn't really see much of the comedy except for maybe right at the beginning.
Yeah.
Little cheesy turn to the camera and smile.
It's there's an overarching serious storyline to the whole show, but it's still a comedic. Like even in the serious bits, there's still comedy and stuff. But what would you say is the overall plot of this?
It looked like, so obviously there's like 3 friends and the Shogun living in a dojo, doing dojo things. But it looked like they were being hunted down by like either like I would say criminals, but one of them had an RPG. So that's some pretty serious weaponry for a criminal.
Well, the people in the black suits are the police.
Oh, they were the police, were they? Oh, right. Oh, okay.
Specifically the anti-terrorist police.
Oh wait. So were the people in the dojo terrorists?
Well, technically the main character was an ex-terrorist.
Good. Okay. Yeah. So we're following an ex-terrorist and his friends. I presume maybe I don't know. Yeah, there was some other interesting characters towards the end of that opening that looked quite interesting. Some guy had like a long ass tongue, licked his hand, and then suddenly looked a bit evil.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means. Other than maybe there's like a rival dojo, or maybe like oh, maybe the Shogun's got like a rival nemesis, and he's got like his own little cohort of actual terrorists. And it's like them two fighting each other, but maybe the actual terrorists are mistaken as being good.
Well, the actual terrorists are the friends of the ex-terrorist.
Okay. I'm just confused. And then just throw in more random stuff. There's just a big cat / dog.
It's technically a god.
It's a god?
Yeah, technically.
I suppose dogs spelled backwards is god. That makes
Yeah.
sense.
But I'll read you the official description of this show, because it really kind of sums up the bullshit in this show. So the official description of Gintama is: life isn't easy in feudal Japan, especially since the aliens landed and conquered everything. Oh sure, the new healthcare is great, but the public ban on the use of swords has left a lot of defeated samurai with a difficult decision to make concerning their future careers. This is especially true as in the case of Gintoki Sagata. They're not particularly inclined towards holding a job, which is why Gintoki's opted for the freelance route, taking any job that's offered to him as long as the financial pay sounds right. Unfortunately, in a brave new world filled with stray bug-eyed monsters, upwardly mobile yakuza, and overly ambitious ET entrepreneurs, those jobs usually don't pay as well as they should for the pain, suffering and indignities required.
Wait, they were aliens?
Yeah.
What was that? When did they show up? Wait, was that the guy doing the weird smile with the funny looking teeth and eyes, licking his hand at the end? Was he an alien?
No.
Alien to me?
The main character, the girl main character, she's an alien. Basically, a big alien empire decided to conquer Japan for no reason. Well, there are reasons, but they conquered Japan, so now aliens just live in Japan. And our main character, who was an ex-terrorist from back when they were trying to stop the invasion, he was in the army then, so he is now declared a terrorist for opposing the aliens. So now he's a freelancer.
Oh man, this show sounds great.
And well, that was number 2, my second favourite series ever. So number 1 is my favourite series ever, and since I first watched it, it's been number 1, and that's not changed as of yet.
Oh nice. Should we do a drum roll?
I can do. Yeah, I'll send you the OP for this. The OP isn't the most revealing, but the plot is a bit weird anyway. It's pretty straightforward, it's just kind of a weird concept.
Man, I hate to say it, but again, like the JOJO'S one, I'm just kind of stumped. There's a lot of quirky characters with quirky things going on. I mean, there was a mummy at one point with boxing gloves.
Yeah.
What is that? What does that do? They're just mummies now. There's a girl flinging what looked like a vacuum cleaner around.
Yep.
So I have no. This for all I know, this could be set in this could be like Night in the Museum, but I don't know, from the perspective of a janitor.
I didn't expect you to. It's pretty hard to get from the opening what Hunter's about. But basically in this world there are an elite group of people called Hunters. And they're like, you have to take an exam to become one that's very hard to pass. Like, it's a lot of like life and death kind of like trials and stuff. But once you're a hunter, like, you have free public transport, you can take massive loans out with no interest, you can travel to any country whatsoever, you just get all these big privileges in life as a result of being a hunter. But hunters are like cream of the crop, like strongest people around, like they're all exceptional in some way or the other. And our main character Gon, his father, he's never seen his father left after he was born because his father's a hunter. And so Gon, he doesn't resent his father at all, because he just sees it, being a hunter must be so good that you're willing to leave your child for it. So he wants to become a hunter as a result.
Yeah.
So he passes the exam, he meets these other people, which were the guys at the beginning of the OP, and it's just him on his journey to try meet his father. And the weird lot, like the mummy and the girl with the gun and all that lot, they're nothing to do with the main character. It's one of the other main characters. His clan was slaughtered by a group of criminals, which are those people, and it's him. He wants to get revenge on that group of criminals, which is the mummy and the girl with the gun and that what.
Oh right. Oh okay. Yeah. Oh, amazing. Alright. Oh okay. What do the hunters do? They just like...
They can do whatever they want.
Oh right. Oh okay.
So they usually specialise, like some people specialise in archaeology, others anti-poaching, some go gemstone hunting. So they all have like, they're like very skilled scientists.
Yeah, that sounds pretty cool.
This show's quite notorious for having like one of the darkest like arcs of anything.
Dare ask.
Well, the theme of it is based around the morality of humans, so take from that way. Basically, it just shows how horrid humans can be in like every way, and it builds up to culminating with the involvement of a nuke, like the most horrific of human acts and stuff. And there's ants. Sadly, though, we haven't had a chapter in 2 years.
Oh right. Oh okay. But how long has this been going for? Like how many?
Since, well, there's only like 140 episodes, but the anime just stopped at one point because it was the next arc in the manga is still going on at the moment,
Yeah.
so it wouldn't have been able to adapt it properly. But the manga's been going since the 90s. Although it's called Hunter x Hunter, the fandom often call it hiatus x hiatus because it's on hiatus so much, which is when a manga's not being on break. So most fans have just kind of given up hope of ever getting another chapter now because it's been 2 years, which is sad because the current arc we're in is like 10 times bigger than any of the other previous arcs. So
so it's left.
There's no way it's getting finished, even if he comes back to write it. But yeah, that is my technically top 14 animes, if any viewers were actually curious of what that was. And we had James's terrible attempts at trying to guess the plots, considering I've given him barely any information to go on.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun, not gonna lie, even though I was way off the mark with a lot of these, I just didn't have a clue.
And I've no idea what the next milestone thing will be. Of course James will be back for it whenever it happens, or whatever it is. I'm not going to say what the next milestone is. Well, this was meant to be 250, but it isn't. I don't know what this will be, considering the subs are still going up. Let's go 350, could be 400. Depends how many subs I gain before the time this comes out.
Nice.
I'm going to be optimistic and say the next one will be 750, but I have no idea. So yeah guys, this was not only the 100th video on this channel, but it's also a milestone special, so you've all been treated quite well, I think. And it's going to be longer than most videos, so I'm not going to upload for next month.
Nice.
So well,
thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, thanks for coming on, James, in this terrible lockdown.
God damn, I can't say it, can I?
No, we can't say the dreaded C word.
God damn.
Stella, let's call it the Stella.
Oh, the Stella. Oh, god damn.
The wife beater.
That somehow worked.
We've been rambling about alcohol for too long, so let's go. I'm going to go on to the outro, so take it away, future me. Outro time. First, I want to thank you for watching this video, and second, I want to thank you for helping this channel reach 350 subs. Even though I've been uploading videos for way over a year now, it still astounds me to think that so many people not only watch my content, but also care enough to subscribe. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. So if you haven't already, follow my Twitter at SethTheS and my Instagram at SethTheSin_cosplay. And for the 100th time, I've been Seth the Sin, the Deadly Sin of Geek, and I am signing out. Stay safe, everyone.